Why do I feel so convicted every time I turn on any news outlet, any news station, any YouTube channel, any social media outlet? Why do I feel the need to protect the reputation of generations and I would even say corporations of men on this planet? I have never in my life seen so much at one time lack of leadership in the highest of offices and in the lowest of low places. I've never seen um, such infidelity and lack of moral wisdom, character, or judgment in pastoral roles and pulpits, as we say them, and in sacred sanctities and sanctuaries. I haven't fully in my life ever seen, and maybe this is all generations and eras. I haven't seen so many husbands literally leaving home for the side chick number one combo and leaving home the home cooked meal, hot and ready, stay ready, that they have built, that they have chosen to pursue. These men are leaving literally gems and diamonds in their own backyard to go off and wander for go off and go off and wander for green pastures. This is just it's getting crazy. So this episode is completely dedicated to a unique series called Who Am I? We put out a unique short film series about this that I feel deeply convicted and impacted by because one, it can happen to anybody. It is happening to all of us. To be honest, it's happening to all of us, and there's no unique remedy for this. There's no I don't think there's a really true outlet for this. So hopefully that this show, the manual, can be that plug-in source that can help you stay one on your toes, two in the conviction lane of character and wisdom and morality, three, hopefully it can bring value to where you are and where you're trying to go in life. Today, we're going to talk about three different unique areas in helping to define you and to help figure out who are we as men, why are we doing the things that we're doing, and where the heck are we going with all this? Because as I see it, every time I turn on the news, there's a man in charge. There's a husband leaving the household. There's a wife leaving the household because of the lack of leadership that's in her household. There's a man in the Oval Office that has the world's power, we would say, the highest power in all this land, that is uniquely using it for a distinctive, unconscionable reason to govern half of the United States, not everybody, but half interest of this country into a perilous, unique way. To keep it safe, I'll say it like that because if I get into it, this whole film, this recording card is going to catch fire. So let's dive into the first one. Let's identify one who you are not. To identify who you are not, you must unbecome the thing that you think you are or who you thought or who they said you were. You have to first identify what either somebody else downloaded into you, either how you were raised, what you were taught to believe, what you were conditioned to believe, what you wish to believe that was false, that was not true, that was not accurate, that was not healthy, and it's cost you a lot of heartache and bad decision making. Bad decision making has decided the type of man you are today. You don't understand the impact of everyday decision. Even the decision to shower or not shower, there's a cause and effect to that. You're going to either smell good and people will be glad you cleaned up, or you will not, and you will find out why nobody's calling you, why everybody's glad that they're in quarantine right now, or they have to stay 6 feet back, is because you did not wash your balls. Okay. Another key thing for identifying who you are not is to recognize what has been conditioned for you to believe. Do you believe that all men are created equal? Do you believe that the sky is blue or is it red? Do you believe that there's deep states people over here? Do you believe that there are reckless, radical people on the right over here? Do you believe that everybody cheats, and if you don't win, it's because somebody cheated? Do you believe that there's the haves and have-nots, that everybody not going to make it, that everybody not going to be successful? Do you believe about yourself that because of where you come from, that's the reason why you have what you have and how you think the way you think, and that's the end all be all? Identifying those things that conditioned you as a young boy to how you decide life right now is the first thing you need to start to unbecoming who you thought you were, so we can figure out who you want to become and who we can create. Easily, if you can't identify who you are not, this world has for free decided who you are: a liar, a cheater, a manipulator, somebody who takes advantage and abuses the sick or the widow, somebody who's literally just corrupt and full of fraud, or a sore loser. However, you want to take that, depending on the type of person you are, you will receive that if you feel connected to that. If you're a crooked entrepreneur or a abusive or absent father, if you're a corrupted entrepreneur whose only goal is to look lavish and to look like he's doing something while racking up his debt and everybody else's money that should have went on a project or should have been invested into a certain venture, but you out here just living lavish. You just want to fake it till you make it, but you're faking it until you keep faking it. One of the things I wish not to become, and you guys will have to help me with this, is to become a secretive husband. That husband who spent all that time and money to make that man cave, or the husband who said, "Hey, I think we should get this kind of phone bill. Matter of fact, I need this kind of phone because you up late at night in that man cave, scrolling and trolling other women, liking all kind of just random women when they just friended, they just made a profile on Facebook. You are setting yourself up to fail, keeping all those secrets, wife not even knowing what's going down, all because you got an addiction that you don't even think that's an addiction, because it's not really hurting anybody else. And so what, everybody else does it because all the people you're hanging around with have grown up in the same condition that you grew up with. No father in the home, or the father that you had was corrupt, or was had a virus to him, that had bad software from his father and his father. Not knowing who you are is very catastrophic. It's equal to not knowing what the weather is going to be like tomorrow. It's like not knowing that a tornado is headed your way. The lack of awareness that all of us men have is costing us everything. We need to become aware of who we are, the habits that we have right now, and to unpeel all of that. We don't understand that the plant that has been planted in the pot of our lives has no roots to it and is not being watered and is not fruitful at all. Two, which I believe is the most important, is finding out who we were created by and what was the purpose for. One of my favorite movies, two of my favorite movies, is Jason Bourne and Elf. As you see in both of these movies, which are very, very different in contrast, one is a lone assassin killer who forgot why he was doing what he was doing. Another one is an elf forgetting where he came from. Like, to sum up both of these are two men in two totally different fields. One super goofy, one super hardcore, super super dope. And the whole entire movie is finding out, one, where they came from. One is trying to find out where his father's at. We're gonna get to that. But the whole compass is finding out who they are, because somewhere they messed around and changed atmospheres, changed environments. One bumped his head, one forgot the entire mission he was on. So the whole series is about retracing his steps of who created him and who sent him on his mission, and why they designed him to be the way that he was designed. When I realized that I was created by the infinite, all power, all loving master creator of the universe, it rocked my whole world. it not only gave me a sense of peace, but it also gave me that sense of like, what's the word? Conviction. And it also checked marked off something on my list that I've been always feeling, or that I always kind of knew, but really didn't know, because I'm a thinker. I'm real skeptical. I'm real like wired to do something, to really think very differently. I'm wired to think just differently about life. I don't take things as they are. I don't go with the flow. I don't go with the mass. I challenge everything. So when I figured out, and I'm still finding out more and more about my creator, it's just like, finding out about my dad, which I'll tell you about more and more. It's like it's baby steps. It's like, okay, this is where I come from. Oh shoot, this is his habits. This is his background. This is what he went through. This is his strengths. This is his weakness. But understanding who designed the prototype is very, very different. They had something else in mind. They had a strategy. It's equal to the iPhone 11 or 12 that you have right now. I'm not even going to mention Android. Android will not get a rep on this whole show at all. But think about your iPhone 11 right now, and your iPhone 12. Remember when it first came out? Remember when it was like the iPhone 3 and what it is now? That's how different knowing where you came from to who you are now is important. We see how far Nokia got. We see how far the Sidekick got. Remember the Sidekick? It was dope, but it ain't around anymore. It's evolved into all kind of other different things. And some of us who don't have a strategic, informative or awareness of where we came from, we will morph and change into different things to try to keep up with what's happening in our world. And we're designed to take over. We're designed to add value. We're designed to lead. We're designed to love at another level that should just keep upgrading who we are, not fully molding us into what we are not. Three, we need to find out how we are wired. Everybody's different. I don't care what background you come from, everybody's just different. Sometimes I remember growing up in church and listening to the pastor. You got to find out what God will is for your life. I never heard, still to this day, what that means. But what I feel, what God is saying to me now that I'm more connected to this power more than ever, is find out how you're wired. Why do you like taking apart computers so much? Why do you like talking to people and trying to figure out how to help them? Why do you feel the need to serve in your community, or serve in the army, or figure out how to change this corrupt system of greed and injustice? Why do you feel like you need to be at the hospital or the front lines helping people? That's based on the will of God of how you're wired. The will is how you're wired. Figuring that out will, and tell, even if, no matter how you take either one of these points and mix them up, if you start to follow either one of them, it'll point you to your designer. We all got to get back to the manufacturer. We always got to get back to the manual. Holla at your boy, to figure out how we're designed, where we come from, what our purpose is, how we can be used. Because if you don't know who you are, somebody else is going to let you know exactly who you are not and who you shouldn't be. Hopefully that there's men like myself, hopefully, that can help add some parts and pieces to your life that can help you identify that. Four, start to understand your why, because it can help lead to who you are. The more and more you figure out and pursue why you're here, why are you doing the things you're doing, why are you thinking the way you're thinking, it can possibly help you to help find out who you are from the inside, from the outside, inside. It can go two ways. Power goes both ways, negative and positive. There's a unique way to be able to use that, and to be able to strategically purpose and place you to finding out who you are. Five, you don't have to be smart, intelligent. You don't have to have a degree to understand that you need to change. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to be a Christian to find out who you are. Because I personally believe when any man pursues the opportunity to find out who he is intentionally, you will ultimately meet your creator. Just like Born Identity, just like Elf. Jason Bourne found out who created him, where he came from, how he was designed, who created his thought patterns. He found it out when he tried to figure out why he was there. It's crazy. Go watch all the trilogies. It's crazy. But you need to understand that you don't have to be smart and crazy. You don't have to know it all. If you have that convicted feeling like I have to be better, to know more, to challenge, to represent men better, check out the manual some more, guys. We got some more videos headed your way. The next episode is Why Am I Here? Next on the manual.